Tonight we are totally into prep work, and my daughter just asked me to make her lunch for her. She's working on some homework, so I thought I would go through what goes into a typical lunch for my daughter. Now, my daughter has celiac disease, and unlike some students, she's allowed to bring glass to school. So we're going to do a mason jar soup for her with pho. Some students are not allowed to use glass. There are different containers you can use. I think Cisterma and Thermos both have containers you can bring to school. But what we do, this is a pho noodle. The pho noodles are made with usually rice, but always read the ingredients to make sure that it's rice. They come with little packets of flavoring too, which we will put in there. She makes a choice as to what she wants to put in there. And I stick the whole thing in there. Then she can make the decision. Okay, so we cram it in the jar. And then I take these things and I usually just put the whole thing in there, and she can choose what she wants. I'll clean up those little noodles later. More noodles got in the jar than usually get in the jar. And yes, they do flick out occasionally. There's the soup. You're wondering where the hot water is going. In the morning, we fill hot water in this jar here, or in this container here. And it is boiling hot. And she puts this in with her lunch, and she is able to have a nice hot soup within about 2 minutes. So that's the first thing. The second thing is cheese. These are really good goat cheese sticks. They're cheddar. They're very mild, and I know I've talked about goat cheese before. These are her favorites, so that also goes in there. Then we give her usually a choice of a fruit or vegetable. So today we're going to give her some, or tomorrow she's going to have some carrots. So they're going to go in this little container here. I like the containers because they keep things from crossing other things, especially if she's at a table with other kids. Sometimes things get messy, but this is all self-contained, so it keeps it separate. Alright, move that over there. She's also going to get some pastrami. Now, we get this from a place called Mr. Prime Beef, and I love them very much because they make sure that it's sliced exactly how my daughter likes it, and it is very, very tasty. So this is 2 slices of pastrami. Now, she can choose to eat this. Sometimes she wraps it around her cheese, and sometimes she puts it in her soup. And I never know what she's going to do. I don't really care as long as she eats the protein. Alright, and then the last thing that goes in there is a sweet. This is pudding. Now, normally I stay away from as much cow as possible, but this is a very little amount, and if her stomach starts to hurt, she stops eating it. But this is Cozy Shack pudding. It's gluten-free, and it's her favorite, which is rice. So everything goes in the container. Oh, forgot about her water bottle. It's very important. All right, let's pack this puppy. And then, of course, the ever important fork and spoon with a napkin. When she was little, her teachers would have her use a bandana, and the bandana was her mat, and all of her stuff stayed on the bandana. And that is a wonderful tip for those of you who are trying to keep your kids from being cross-contaminated, because what they'll have is everything on their bandana and nobody else touches it. It's very self-contained, and your child can keep things on their bandana too, so it's wonderful. It's very visual for them. Anyway, my daughter's going to take this to school tomorrow and have a pho soup for lunch. Thanks!